Hey folks, this is Tim DeMella. I want to talk to you today about the third stage. If you go all the way back to my beginning videos, I talk about the first stage, second stage, and third stage. And the first stage is your spiritual childhood, your second stage, your spiritual adolescence, and your third stage, your spiritual adulthood. Okay, in your third stage, you become a true, authentic self with a capital S. Okay, because you and your spirit are so connected that you have become complete. All right, now there are 3 steps in that third stage, or the third heaven, what I've called it, and the first one is where you become complete. Now, the complete is actually where, well, let's put it this way. When you were born into this world, right, you left your mother, okay, and you became, you came into this world, okay. You left your Eden. Everything was given to you. Everything was because you were in your mother, so everything was given to you and all that. You got ejected, let's say, into a world, and some of us got ejected into a very misbehaving world, a very toxic world, let's put it that way. Okay. Some of us were luckier because we had parents that were very unconditionally loving and that helped us become who we are along the way. And some of us not so lucky. So, but if you go back to my earlier videos, I explained to you how you can overcome that, okay, and get to the third stage. Well, when you've left your mother's womb and came into this world, what everybody's trying to do is get the back. It's like, whoa, this is way too, if you're not being unconditionally loved and being conditionally loved, although there's only one love, and that's unconditional love, you just pretty much just want to go back into the womb. So people say, well, that's what everyone's trying to do, is go back into the womb. Well, that may be true for majority of people, majority of us, but you can't go back, you got to go forward. Yeah, well, how can you get back into your mother's womb going forward? Okay. You have to leave your mother. You have to leave your father. You have to leave your mother. Okay. To find yourself, and remember, self with a capital S is what? Spirit and you. Okay. The spirit within you of unconditional love, and you could say ego if you want. Okay. Your ego feels very vulnerable depending on where it lands once you leave your mother's womb. So as you go through the first spiritual childhood, which I explain, and then your spiritual adolescence, which I explain, you become a true, authentic self. Okay? And what happens is that your ego, your spirit, you are absorbed, your ego is absorbed into your spirit. Okay? This might sound strange, but if you go back, let's say, to Jungian, Carl Jung, of father of analytical psychology, and so forth and so on, which everything pretty much stems from that, you will understand that this is exactly what he said too. He spent years and years and years doing what I've done as well. When you get into that, then you have what's called protection, an armor around you. Okay? For you who know the Christian Bible, you'll know that Paul talks about this armor. Okay? And that's what he's talking about. He's talking about to becoming you, your authentic self. And by doing that, you come within, you're absorbed within the sphere of God, of your spirit, God's spirit within you. And you're actually protected by God. Okay? What does this mean? This means that whatever you want to do, you now feel free to go do it. You're not confined anymore by the way the world behaves, by the way the world works. You have great confidence in yourself, and that's what it means, having confidence within. You have great confidence because you know no matter what happens, you have the Spirit of God with you and protecting you. Okay? So when you say, well, how do I get back into my mother's womb? That's the way. You're not actually getting back to your mother's womb. You're getting back into God's womb, the Spirit, and it becomes your armor. I think maybe I've said this before, if I'm not sure. I told you this story. When I was born, in going through a lot of situations in my life, I was very scared. Very scared. I felt like I was just plopped and I didn't feel protected or anything. It was very, very scary for me. And I talked to you about how I went through that, I think, in one of the videos and all that in my life. But there was one thing that gave me great peace, and that was when I was very young. I think it maybe started in my childhood, somewhere in my childhood, I can't remember. But it was definitely before my teenage years, without a doubt. When I got very anxious and scared, and I couldn't sleep, which is quite a bit, I would just imagine myself inside a bubble. And on the outside of that bubble was God, telling all the different thoughts and everything that would scare me to go away. My child is sleeping. And having great faith and knowing that God has all the power and that everything that comes in, that tries to come in, could not come in, and just leave it to God to protect me while I'm sleeping, I was able to not only sleep, but relax and really rest. And I would like go to sleep within like that, like 5 minutes or something like that, and I would get some really, really great deep sleep. Okay. But it wasn't until much later in my years that I realized what that was. And that was the third heaven, where your soul is, where the spirit of unconditional love lives, where God lives. And I'm now into that 11th step in this third stage. Remember, the 10th step is the first step in the third stage, is where you become that complete, that whole. The next step, the 11th step, is freedom. Go do what you want to do. Go do what you want to do, and just go do it, because you know that you're going to be fine. You have the armor of God with you. Go do what you've always wanted to do to make you happy, and screw all those other people that said, no, don't do that, you can't do that, it's not with the laws of this or whatever, or they're miserable and they try to keep you miserable, and so forth and so on, right? That's long gone. Okay, those people have nothing to do with you now. You're now within the Spirit, within God's realm, within His room, and you Go do what you want to do and forget about all those other people. In fact, don't have anything to do with them. Just don't have anything to do with them anymore. You don't need them. Don't need them at all. Okay? And go live the life that you've always wanted to go live. Go be happy. Go enjoy. Okay? Because when you do that, you finally get to the 12th step. And what is the 12th step? Heaven on earth. Heaven on earth. That's the 12th step. Heaven on earth. You are able to then, from the 11th step, co-create. Go and create whatever you wanted to do in life that you knew would make you really happy. You know you can do it. Go do it. And now you're able to do it in your 11th step. Go create your own heaven on earth. And fuck everybody else who doesn't support you. In other words, these people do not unconditionally love you. So the chances are, how many people are you going to have in your support group these days? Maybe one, maybe two, maybe just your therapist. Maybe a really great friend. If you can have more than one or two, that's wonderful. To come into a community, and later on, perhaps even more, because you'll provide the inspiration to others on how did you do this, and I want what you have, type of thing. Okay, and it's not all this money and all that. It's confidence to create a life for yourself that makes you really happy, and you don't care. You're going to do it because you know it's going to come out fine, because your spirit has never let you down. Remember, in the Bible, Paul, in the Bible, 1 Corinthians chapter 13, on what love is, read it. That's what you will become. That's what you'll become. Okay? So, that's what I wanted to say. What I don't think I provided a 12-step video until this time. And now I want to say that that's what the third heaven's all about. You have the confidence, you have your spirit of who's your armor. Your ego feels vulnerable, had felt vulnerable. You did it in a way with your spirit, and now your spirit, you have come inside. And now you know you can do anything because you have your spirit protecting you and saying, absolutely not, get away, get away. This is my child, get away. And you're with God. You're with God now. So your 12th step is your heaven on earth. Then after you die, you actually are in the heaven, but not on earth. Okay? And we can talk later about what I think happens after that. But I don't make these videos for quantity. That's why I've waited so long. I don't make a video until I've lived it, until I'm sure, until I've come into whatever I'm talking to you about, or experienced, or my spirit shows me, or whatever. So that's why you don't see a lot of videos on this channel. So anyway, that's what I wanted to say. You can't go back into your mother's womb, but you can go into your father's. If you want to say room or womb, whatever you want to say, but you can do that, and that's where you want to go. And I show you how to do it in my earlier videos. So if you need to, comment, and we'll go through it together. I'll show, ask questions if you need to. If you have questions, ask questions. That's what the comments are for. Okay? All right. I love you. And I hope you will find the heaven on earth that you want for you. Okay. Bye.